Greetings from Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. It is 7:11 p.m. Mountain Time and 76 degrees Fahrenheit. We're here at Trolley Square, which is, let me make sure I get the streets right, off of East 600 South and South 700 East. Trolley Square is one of the mini shopping mall areas in Salt Lake City. It's just south of the downtown area. They have several parking lots. This is one of them across the street. I've been to Trolley Square before, but I've never taken the interlink that will go over the street and to the other area. Now, Trolley Square, the businesses do mostly close at like 8 o'clock p.m., but it should still be a decent amount of traffic. Let's go ahead and take the interlink here. You can see a decent amount of parking, by the way. Well, forget the elevator, what I said. Currently out of order. Usually when I'm approaching Trolley Square, I see the thing that looks like a water tower. Fortunately, you're right in the sun glare right now, so I can't quite show you a nice view on the street. I guess this one gets out of the glare a little bit. You can see some of the mountains in the background. And this leads you into the second level of the mall, it appears. We have a directory down there, but instead of showing that off, we're just going to do a walkthrough. I've never been on this side, so I didn't even know there was a Weller Bookworks store here. So, bookstore. They are open till 9 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, so some places may have extended hours. So there's the first level. We could have just, instead of taking the interlink, we could have just crossed the street on the crosswalk, and then you have the little atrium there. Over there on the right, there's a art gallery. Looks like this used to be a food place of some kind. Trolley Art and Antique. And then some business appears to be renovating. Image Eyes Optical coming fall 2025. Looks like there's some historical figures related to shaping Utah that are described in these areas. There's Trolley Studio if you want to take a picture. And then more of these come out here, including Theodore Roosevelt. The water fountain there is always pretty cool looking, especially when you're down on the first level. Over there is a little kids area as well as the trolley train shop, and then this is part of a museum. A nice mural over there, and kids playground area. One of the anchoring restaurants is the Spaghetti Factory, and it's really cool how everything has like the trolley theme. You can see there's like a train car inside of there. I can go ahead and grab a picture of this real quick. Make sure I'm capturing some of the essence. Desert Edge Brewery. And then there's Mountain Alchemy, New Age Gifts and Artisan Collection. Sort of hovering up there on the second level. In some of these businesses you can window shop too. Here's a display for a clothing store. Sort of unique styles, not what I would wear, but definitely market for that type of crowd. And then look at this one over here, the Olive and Cocoa Outlet. With it being Halloween time coming up, you can see some of the unique decorations. They are a bit pricey when I've looked at the price tag before, but these are, I'm not saying you're not going to see them in more than this store, but there's a certain type of look and feel to them that will certainly appeal to certain decorations. Like, it would be more along the lines of the taste that I have. Pumpkin Mr. and Mrs. Then you've got Trolley Square Barbers. We're going to end up circling back to that backside because there's some things over there I want to point out too. It's nice to see that Trolley Square has been pretty vibrant during the times I've visited, especially on a couple of Saturdays. I first came or saw this place in 2018 when I was here for my conference, and it was active, but it could have used some more tenants. You can see coming 2025, adding more restroom, security office. Here you've got Cabin Fever, some greeting cards inside with unique themes, ducks, kind of like a little fun novelty store. Oh, there you go. Classic Halloween poster. Here's that fountain I was referencing earlier. Try to grab a picture of that too. Also got to remember to get a picture of businesses like this one. Some books as well. Nightmare on 13th Street. They may be promoting the haunted house. That's another one of the entrances. Here's Social Stationers, Tabula Rasa. More unique decorations. Look at the moon theme prevalent in this one. One of the clothing window displays outside of Spark. There's also clocks on display here. There's a spa on the left. Tiverton store. And Spark may have another men's clothing location there down the hallway. There's restrooms there. The one time I was there, you need a code for it. There's the Chalk Garden. It's cool because it's what seemed to be like a lot of local vendors. And then up top on the second level, Rodizio Grill at Trolley Square, the Hive Market. And then a big welcome to Trolley Square sign. So this is sort of could be viewed as like the front that we're now exiting right now. Some more parking facilities. Trolley Square lit up in the red, white, and blue. Looks like there's a Beaumont Cafe coming here soon. And over on this end, there's a little bit more. Again, we're going to try to head that way. First, let's get a peek down this way. As we're underneath the water tower. This is an e-bike store, Magnum. And you do have at least one national chain, Whole Foods Market, grocery store Anchor. There's a mural down that way. They used to have the green bike system for Utah over here, but they've moved it a little bit, I think, across the street. But yeah, there's Whole Foods Market at Trolley Square. More parking that you can go actually into the upper part of the garage. And you've got the surrounding neighborhood. I did have dinner with my wife a couple weeks ago at Chuchi's Italian restaurant. Very nice staff right there. Yes. Now we'll circle back and cut between these two buildings here. You might get that sun glare right in our face. We're avoiding it now because I'm purposely walking to the edge. Maybe I can get away with it if I just walk right up to this building. It's a nice little courtyard area. And then I'm not sure if it still is. I know in the past this train car out here that says Trolley Square 801, which is one of the area codes of Salt Lake, used to be like an actual tiny bar that was open for limited hours. It does say this establishment is a bar. No one under 21 is allowed. It says Kona Brewing. Whether it's still active, I'm not certain. You can actually get into one of the stores, Spark, right off of the end here. So over here you've got School of Rock. Looks like they're having a grand opening September 13th, 2 days from now. Over here you've got Pottery Barn. One of the entrances from earlier. That Desert Edge Brewery that was across from Spaghetti Factory on the second level has an outdoor patio up there. And then earlier when I said I'll talk about the back area later, that's where I'm headed right now. So this portion of the building right here is under construction to be a future momentum climbing gym. There's also an Orange Theory Fitness over there. Let's see here. Have they really made any progress on this? I thought it said coming 2025. Yeah, it still looks like they got a lot to do. Like, I don't see any of the climbing walls up, but it is earmarked for momentum indoor climbing coming soon. And then the other thing that's cool is the Off-Broadway Theater hosts performances in the Alliance Theater and also the Black Box Theater next door. They do Saturdays on certain weeks. They do a 10 p.m. showing of the Laugh Factory, sort of, where it's like a nice little sketch comedy show, improv comedy show. And then throughout the rest of the year, they do other things, like it looks like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, or again, it's sort of, I wouldn't say improv, but it's more like a play that you're watching. And the prices are generally pretty affordable. Like the Laugh Factory that my wife and I, we actually went to it back-to-back weeks about a month or two ago. I think it's like $12 per ticket. Yeah, so it's pretty nice. This is now the exterior of what the other end of Trolley Square looks like. We showed you the old spaghetti factory. We may not have shown all of the second level, but I think we got most of it. Let's see if there's any other window shopping available here at this store. So over here we also have coming soon Rejuvenation, heirloom quality lighting, hardware, and more. And then the other thing that I'm not sure about is if we walk down this way, it looks like this part is also with Trolley Square. I don't think I was down this way, did I? Or am I crazy? Yeah, this is part of Trolley Square, and I wasn't over here yet. So you have West Elm, Williams Sonoma, the back of Whole Foods Market, some parking over here. Yeah, just a nice little plaza area. This street that's going on this portion of Trolley Square has median in the middle of the street. And then you have one lane for traffic, but you also have a dedicated bike lane. This is 500 South that I'm coming up on right now. So that pretty much does it for Trolley Square, one of the exits from the underground parking garage. I'll keep the video rolling just a little bit because I'm actually, for personal reasons, going to go shopping at Trader Joe's, which is across the street and on the next plaza. So it's like, hey, I'm going to be doing that anyway. Why don't I keep footage rolling of a little bit of the nearby neighborhood? And instead of me moving the car, I can just do the shopping and walk across the street back to where I parked. So again, for some perspective, the downtown portion of Salt Lake City is, if you imagine going diagonally that way, not too far. If you're in a car, you're probably like 2 minutes away from the downtown area. And then when you get to this next street, if you then make a left turn and go, let's say, I don't know, 3 or 4 blocks down, that's where you'd get to the university, sorry, not the university, you'd get to the city library and the county building. And that corner is kind of what I think of as like one of the edges or corner edges of downtown Salt Lake. It's really not too far off. When I did a live stream video a couple years ago starting in downtown Salt Lake City, I actually finished it. I can't remember if I went to Trolley Square and finished it or if I only went to like the Trader Joe's area here. But the point being of me doing that was to show how Salt Lake transitions into like the neighborhood feel just a few blocks away. One thing that's surprising is in the past there's often like a lot of homeless people in this area hanging around, but I don't see any of that right now. This is the little plaza I was referring to that has Trader Joe's. You got Ace Hardware above me. That pavilion that sticks out is where Trader Joe's is. And then you also have the red Trax line that you can catch there to go to either University of Utah, which is up near the mountains over there. I can see it, but you probably can't because of the trees. Or if you're going the other way, it goes through downtown and then all the way to South Jordan, Utah, ending at Daybreak, where I filmed a video at the other day. Here we go, getting ready to do my little shopping at Trader Joe's. Got my Trader Joe's stuff. But look what else they have out here. Pumpkins. Who doesn't love the festive Halloween season? Orange pumpkins, $4.99 I think it said. As it gets a little bit darker out. Sorry. For a couple of years when I went to Salt Lake, I would take a picture on that main road over there with like a certain backdrop. Now there's a variety of construction in that area. Part of the reason it's construction is they've just been tearing down buildings, whatever was over there before. And then this building, it's been either vacant or being gutted for what feels like years. Someone who's from the neighborhood, I'm sure, could give some more context of what used to be there, or maybe what the future plans for it are. Probably housing, like this Liberty Square area here, because that seems to be the thing with Utah. Left and right, there's just an absurd amount of new housing developments popping up and being occupied immediately. Let's see here, I think I'm gonna have to walk all the way back down the street, or maybe maybe they have a makeshift crosswalk here. Yeah, they do. That's where that green bike station moved to. That used to be in that Whole Foods parking lot. prior to me having a car, anytime I visited Salt Lake, it used to be my thing. When I was briefly in the downtown area, I'd rent a green bike in downtown, ride it all the way down to this station. I would grab my little goodies from Trader Joe and then eventually ride the bike back to the train station in downtown and go about my way. This is 700 East. I know I was trying to look at Google Map earlier, and Google Map refers to things as differently. It's good timing. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and sign off the video here, I think. Unless I might try to peek at the second floor again, see if I missed anything. Let me get a picture from here, though. Yeah, I might as well give a complete picture in case I missed any businesses on the second floor. I know I mentioned earlier near that what was a kid's playground about a Trolley Square like train museum. I'm pretty sure there's one up there, and I think it was what I was pointing out when I mentioned it, but I wasn't quite 100% clear if that was the spot. Because when I first visited this place years ago, they did not have the kids' little playground portion up there. You could just walk right up to the train car thing. But my recollection is that museum is only open I feel like it was 2 days a week. So let's see if we can gather any of that info. So there is one business up here, or one space that could be, have a future tenant. I think that was my recollection of the second floor. There were a couple vacancies up here, but there is also some places filled out. Another clothing shop. This one looks like a Colonel shop. You've got that eyewear place that will be moving in 2025. So yeah, I did end up covering most of it. Yeah, and this place is vacant here as well. So first floor definitely more aesthetically pleasing than the second floor. And I think this is the museum, but I don't want to walk in there with a camera. Trolley train shop. It's either a train shop or a museum. I don't want to walk in there when there's a kid there. If you enjoyed this video snapshot of Trolley Square, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. Quick bonus footage. So I'm now on the first floor. So remember I came in on the second floor, I came in up there. There is some pretty cool things here advertising Olive and Cocoa. That's that shop that had all those cool Halloween knickknacks. But then the thing that's interesting is that there's also a Happy Camper Deli and Bakery. I have had that place at Gardner Village before. I didn't know they had a location here. Pretty neat place. And then that bookstore is also on the first floor, much deeper than I expected, because that second level is makes it look small. It's huge. And then they have $1 books out here. And then it looks like down that way there's another clothing area. So pretty cool. I wonder if they do anything with the atrium like at Christmas time over here. You also have a little monument over there with 3 kids playing musical instruments alongside of a drum.